There's a $2 liquid sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now that removes every stain from every fabric permanently. Not fades it, not treats it, removes it completely at the molecular level in under 30 minutes. Blood, red wine, coffee, grass, grease, sweat, ink, and rust. Every category of stain that the dry cleaning industry has built a $10 billion business around treating professionally, gone with a liquid that costs $2 a bottle at any grocery store. The chemistry behind it has been documented in scientific literature since 1818. Hospital laundry services have used it for over a century to remove biological stains from surgical linens. The United States military used it in field laundry operations across multiple theaters of war to keep uniforms clean without access to professional cleaning equipment. Then, the dry cleaning industry did the math. If every household discovered what was already in their medicine cabinet, an entire service industry built on the premise that fabric stains require professional intervention would collapse within a generation. A $2 solution that eliminates every stain permanently cannot sustain a network of franchised dry cleaning locations charging $15 per shirt, so they buried it. Not because it failed, because it worked too well. This is the story of the cheapest stain remover ever discovered, and the $10 billion industry that made sure your grandmother stopped passing down the formula. If these stories matter to you, the subscribe button and the bell are the best way to make sure this knowledge survives. Here we open the vaults the industry locked shut. Let me take you back to 1818. A French chemist named Louis Thénard was working in a Paris laboratory attempting to isolate a pure form of a compound formed when barium peroxide reacted with nitric acid. What he produced was a clear, slightly viscous liquid he named eau oxygénée, oxygenated water. We call it hydrogen peroxide today. Thénard immediately noticed something unusual about the compound. It reacted violently with organic matter, breaking apart the molecular bonds in biological material through a process called oxidative degradation. Dark stains lightened on contact. Colored compounds broke apart. The mechanism was elegant and the implications were enormous. Within a decade, European hospital laundries were using diluted hydrogen peroxide to treat blood-stained surgical linens that no other cleaning agent could restore. Within 50 years, it was standard in military medical facilities across Europe for exactly the same purpose. A field surgeon in the Franco-Prussian War of 1870 documented in his operational notes that hydrogen peroxide solution removed blood from surgical cloth faster and more completely than any combination of soap and water his unit carried. These are not folk remedies. This is documented industrial and military chemistry confirmed across 2 centuries of practical application. The second compound in this formula has an equally ancient history. Dish soap, or more precisely the surfactant chemistry inside it, dates to ancient Babylon, where animal fat and wood ash were combined to produce the first recorded cleaning compound around 2800 BC. Modern dish soap contains sodium lauryl sulfate and related surfactant molecules that perform one specific chemical function with extraordinary efficiency. They reduce the surface tension of water and surround oil and grease molecules, allowing water to lift and carry them away from fabric fibers that water alone cannot penetrate. When you combine the oxidative power of hydrogen peroxide with the surfactant action of dish soap, you create a 2-stage attack on every category of organic stain simultaneously. The hydrogen peroxide breaks apart the chromophores, the molecular structures responsible for color, in protein-based and tannin-based stains. The surfactant lifts the broken fragments away from the fabric and suspends them in the water for rinsing. Together, they address the 2 fundamental mechanisms by which stains bond to fabric fibers: chemical bonding of colored compounds to fiber surfaces, and physical entrapment of oil and grease within fiber structure. No single commercial stain remover does both more effectively at any price point. Now, let me show you what the research actually says, because this is where the branded stain treatment industry becomes deeply uncomfortable. A study published in the Journal of Textile Science in 2011 tested 15 common household stain removal methods against 8 categories of fabric stains on standardized cotton and polyester test panels. The stain categories included blood, red wine, coffee, grass, motor oil, tomato sauce, ink, and rust. The hydrogen peroxide and dish soap combination achieved complete stain removal, defined as less than 5% residual color under spectrophotometric analysis, in 6 of the 8 categories tested. The 2 categories where complete removal was not achieved were motor oil on polyester, where residual trace remained after a single treatment, and ballpoint pen ink, where a second application achieved complete removal in subsequent testing. The leading commercial stain remover brand tested in the same study achieved complete removal in 5 of 8 categories and matched the hydrogen peroxide formula in 4 of those 5. The price difference between the 2 treatments at the time of the study was approximately 900%. A separate analysis conducted by consumer testing laboratories in Germany in 2016 tested the same formula against enzymatic commercial stain removers, the most advanced category of branded stain treatment currently on the market. Enzymatic removers use protein-digesting enzymes to break down biological stains and are marketed as the premium professional-grade option for home use at 3 to 4 times the price of standard removers. The hydrogen peroxide and dish soap combination matched enzymatic performance on blood, grass, and wine stains, and outperformed enzymatic removers on coffee and rust stains in the controlled test conditions. The researchers noted that the hydrogen peroxide formula produced results within 15 minutes that enzymatic products required 8 to 12 hours of soak time to achieve. Faster, cheaper, and equivalent or superior performance documented in peer-reviewed research. And yet, if you walk into any supermarket in America, you will find an entire aisle of branded stain treatment products with no mention of hydrogen peroxide anywhere on the packaging. Before I go further, everything I have revealed barely scratches the surface of what has been hidden from you. All of it is inside the complete Forbidden Camping Vault. The borax mold elimination protocol that permanently protects every surface in your home for $2. The rooftop rainwater harvesting system that delivers hundreds of gallons of free drinking water every month. The tannic acid rust guide that protects every tool and vehicle you own for $3. The earth battery that generates free electricity from 2 metals and wet soil. And now the complete fabric stain removal protocol from this very video with exact mixing ratios, application times, fabric-specific instructions, and the one combination you must never use that turns a safe remedy into a permanent stain. Over 12 guides in one vault has zero filler, every page built for immediate action. The link is in the description right now. But stay here because the commercial machinery behind your stained shirt is about to make a $10 billion industry very uncomfortable. The dry cleaning and laundry service industry in the United States generates over $10 billion in annual revenue. The branded home stain treatment product market adds another $2 billion on top of that. The architecture of this industry depends on a single psychological premise. Fabric stains are a specialized problem requiring specialized products and specialized expertise. That premise collapses the moment you understand that stains are a chemistry problem, and the chemistry to solve them is sitting in your medicine cabinet for $2. The commercial stain treatment industry responded to the existence of this formula the same way every threatened industry responds. They made the cheap solution invisible through the mechanics of shelf space, marketing spend, and consumer education that they controlled entirely. Walk into any pharmacy or supermarket, and the stain treatment section contains products ranging from $4 to $18 per bottle. The active ingredient in the majority of oxygen-based stain removers, the category marketed as the most powerful option on the shelf, is sodium percarbonate. Sodium percarbonate dissolves in water to release hydrogen peroxide. Pull up the safety data sheet on any OxyClean product, and you will find hydrogen peroxide listed as the primary active compound released during use. They took a $2 bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide from the pharmacy shelf, converted it into a powder with a longer shelf life, packaged it in a branded tub, and sold it back to you at 6 to 8 times the cost of the original compound. The chemistry inside that tub is identical to what Louis Thénard synthesized in his Paris laboratory in 1818. The only difference is the orange packaging and the television advertising budget behind it. A 2019 industry report from the American Cleaning Institute, the trade association representing branded cleaning product manufacturers, documented that consumer awareness of hydrogen peroxide as a direct stain treatment agent had fallen below 12% of American households surveyed. 12%. The compound that hospital laundries have used for over a century. The solution that military field operations trusted across multiple wars. Known to fewer than 1 in 8 American households as a stain treatment option. That is not ignorance. That is the measurable result of decades of deliberate consumer misdirection executed through marketing budgets that dwarf the entire annual revenue of the hydrogen peroxide commodity market. A textile conservator at a regional museum in Ohio documented her use of the hydrogen peroxide and dish soap protocol on a collection of 19th century cotton garments with severe tannin staining from over 100 years of storage. The stains had resisted every commercial treatment the conservation department had attempted over 15 years. After a single 15-minute application of 3% hydrogen peroxide and 1 drop of dish soap per garment, 73% of the staining was removed without any damage to the original fiber structure. A mother of 3 in suburban Minnesota posted a detailed account online of clearing a blood stain from a white cotton duvet that had been through a washing machine and dryer cycle twice, which typically sets protein stains permanently. Cold hydrogen peroxide applied directly, 15 minutes, rinsed. The stain was gone completely. The dry cleaner she had consulted before finding the formula had quoted her $40 for a treatment he admitted might not work on a heat-set stain. Here is exactly what to do. Buy a bottle of 3% hydrogen peroxide from any pharmacy. This is the standard brown bottle sold as a wound antiseptic for under $2. Do not use higher concentration hydrogen peroxide sold for hair bleaching or industrial purposes on colored fabrics, as it will remove dye from the fabric along with the stain. 3% is the correct concentration for fabric stain treatment. For protein-based stains, including blood, sweat, egg, and grass, act as quickly as possible. Cold water only on protein stains. Hot water permanently bonds protein molecules to fabric fibers and sets the stain beyond recovery. Apply hydrogen peroxide directly to the stain. Add 1 small drop of dish soap on top. Work the mixture gently into the fabric with your fingertip or soft brush using light circular motions. Allow to sit for 15 to 30 minutes without rinsing. You will see the stain visibly lightening during this period as the oxidation reaction proceeds. Rinse with cold water and check the result. For complete removal on a first application, launder normally. For stubborn stains, repeat the application before laundering. For tannin-based stains including red wine, coffee, tea, and fruit juice, the same protocol applies. Apply hydrogen peroxide directly without diluting. Add dish soap. Work gently into the fiber. Wait 15 minutes minimum. Red wine stains treated within an hour of occurrence typically disappear completely on the first application. For grease and oil stains, reverse the order. Apply dish soap first and work it into the stain to break the oil bond before adding hydrogen peroxide. The surfactant needs direct contact with the oil molecules before the oxidation step for maximum effectiveness. For rust stains on fabric, apply hydrogen peroxide directly and add a small pinch of cream of tartar, which is available in the baking aisle for under $2. The tartaric acid in cream of tartar chelates the iron molecules in rust stains and lifts them from the fiber as the hydrogen peroxide oxidizes the iron compound. This combination removes rust stains that commercial removers frequently cannot touch. One important safety note. Never mix hydrogen peroxide with vinegar directly in a container or on fabric. The combination produces peracetic acid, a corrosive compound that can damage fabric fibers and irritate skin. Use one or the other, not both simultaneously. And always test on a hidden seam or inner hem of any colored garment before applying to a visible area. While 3% hydrogen peroxide is safe on most color-fast fabrics, some delicate dyes can lighten with extended exposure. A brief test application of 2 minutes on a hidden area confirms safety before full treatment. Here is what I need you to sit with. Hospital surgical teams have trusted this chemistry for over a century to restore linens that other methods could not clean. Military field units trusted it in conditions where professional laundry equipment was impossible to access. Textile conservators restoring irreplaceable historical garments trust it today on fibers that cannot withstand the risk of commercial chemical treatments. This knowledge was not suppressed by legislation. It was not buried by regulation. It was made invisible by the simple mechanism of a marketing industry that flooded your visual field with branded alternatives and made sure that every time you thought about stain removal, you thought about a product name rather than a chemical process. The brown bottle in your medicine cabinet has always been there. Your grandmother's grandmother knew what it was for. Then, a generation of television advertising convinced her granddaughter that stains required a professional or branded product specifically engineered for the purpose. Neither is true, never was. The chemistry has not changed since 1818. The stains have not changed. The fabric has not changed. The only thing that changed was who controlled the story of how to treat them. If this vault opened something for you today, subscribe and share this video now. Every share puts this formula in the hands of someone still paying $15 per shirt to a dry cleaner for a problem that costs $2 and 30 minutes to solve at home. Every subscription keeps this channel digging into the vaults they thought were sealed forever. The next vault opens soon.